those minutes of the meeting that you've got there, John, were dated the 6th, I think, of December.
6th of December, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, quite frankly, you're talking old news in both of those subjects.
Have we made enormous strides since then?
The concrete cracking I covered off in an interview with Tim Glover pre-Christmas, where I explained that the issues are being resolved and there will be no significant impact to either the timescales.
There's a difference between are being resolved and have been resolved.
They haven't been resolved yet. They don't need to be resolved yet. There's a conscious, and again, go back to the interview with Tim. The conscious decision to let things settle down. Some of those cracks are minor and won't even need any remedial work. Some of them will. The cost of those will either be borne by the contractor or by the designer.
But that will mean digging up the tracks that have already been laid, isn't it?
No. It's just a little bit of concrete replacement, and this is a minor this is a minor issue in a much bigger scheme, and these issues have been blown out.
You said it's a minor issue,
proportion.
but a lot of people are working houses along their hotels, etc., but saying, "Oh no, not more work in front of our properties."
No, this is, as I say, this is a minor issue with an engineering project to this scale. You always get issues around cost.
Except the report that came out basically said that things should have been done, concrete against rail, etc., which weren't done.
So you've got different reports. You've got the contractor getting their expert report, which surprisingly enough points the finger towards the designer. You've got the designer getting their expert report, which surprisingly enough points the finger towards the contractor. The truth is in the middle there. The reality is that this is either the contractor's issue or the designer's issue or a combination of both.
So there's a legal issue going on here. There's an argument in courts going on between the two sides.
There's no arguments in court, no. There will be a contractual determination as to where the liabilities sit.
That sounds like a legal issue going on.
No. This is always the case with contracts like this. There's a contractual framework around this project, which is completely normal for projects of this sort of scale. These sort of issues are completely normal.
But they said they did things wrong. They did things that shouldn't have happened. Concrete against rail. And you're saying that was actually not true. They did do right. They did do right all the way.
It's not as simple as taking bits from different people's reports in isolation. The contractor is always going to say, we've done our bit right, it's a designer's fault. The designer will always say it's a contractor's fault. There'll be a process that will resolve this. The cost will not be borne by the taxpayer, and the time implications for any remedial work will not affect the overall.
So resolution is in the air, but when can we expect this work to be finished?
When you say this work, do you mean the overall
The whole promenade.
project? Okay, so...
When will the tape be cut?
So you've seen the timescales and the revised phasing of the work issued by the contractor, because it's their programme. This is the DOI is the client in this project. This is being delivered by a major, well-respected contractor in Olding
But the
Construction.
DOI is bearing the brunt from the public.
Well,
They're the ones
does.
that have to stand up and talk about
DOI
this.
always bears the brunt from the
So you're anxious, obviously, to see it done, or the government's anxious to see it done.
Of course we are, because this is a flagship project. It's a very challenging project. It's one that hasn't gone as smoothly as one would have wanted, but this is testing the Isle of Man community. This isn't just the DOI that's in the dock here. This is the Isle of Man's capability of delivering major projects.
I have to say, we saw this coming. It was a major scheme. We hadn't had something like this for a long, long time. We probably should have been aware of the fact that there could be problems and it needed to be looked at very, very carefully.
Absolutely. There was always going to be challenges with this. Delivering a project of this scale and this complexity in the location that it's in is a huge challenge. It's a challenge for the government, it's a challenge for the local community, it's a challenge for the...
So you say it's excusable what happened?
I'm not making excuses, no, I'm saying it's predictable. You always have issues with major construction projects. I mean, you look at the publicity around HS2 in the UK, where, it's now gone from 55 billion to 100 billion.
We're not comparing the promenade with HS2, though.
No, but it's an indication of the sort of nature and scale of these sorts of projects. This is obviously a much smaller project, but very, very, very challenging. So, again, what's happened here is that the work has slipped from the original timescales. The department was asked to work with the contractor to try and minimise the disruption through the summer season on the tourist businesses on the prom, That's what it's done. That's the revised timescales that have been communicated out. The local residents and businesses have been briefed, and again, this is all old news now, and that's the timescale that the contractors are
So
working
the timescale we're working to now is when?
It's from memory August 2021, which is 19 months away, isn't it? And that's the timescales that the contractors have come out with.